guys, welcome back to my channel. So I finally got around to recreating this look right here. I did a poll and you guys voted, you actually voted for the red lip, but this one's a little more complicated, so I wanted to do this one first. But then it was so even, I think the red lip won by like 2%. So we're still gonna do that one too. Oh, and you guys asked me to do a fully dedicated one brand look. I bring to you Toofaced. I'm super excited. This was actually really easy because you know most of the things I use are Toofaced, my chocolate bar, my gold chocolate bar, and then my favorite nude lipstick ever, Child Star. This was super easy. Keep watching. Started everyone, so I already primed my eyes with a very thin layer of my MAC Soft Ochre. And the reason I did a really thin layer is because we're actually gonna carve out our lid later with concealer, so we kind of want to keep the layers as thin as possible. I'm going to prime my face with this. Haven't used this in a hot minute. Really because I lost it and then Toofaced sent me some more and I was like, where has this been? I remembered I love this primer and then I got displaced because of Hurricane Harvey and then I like literally don't know where anything is. So I'm so happy to have this primer. And now we're just gonna pat this into our face, underneath our eyes. It's very hydrating, but I would say that it would work for all skin types because it's not overly hydrating. It's absolutely one of my faves. Don't know where it went. Glad to have it back. So you guys have been asking me to do a one makeup company tutorial, one look. I'm using all the same brand. I'm gonna try my best to use the same brand. Obviously, I don't think Toofaced has an eye primer. I think they have Shadow Insurance, but I gotta use my MAC Soft Ochre. But everything else you guys are going to see is going to be the one brand. I'm using one of my all-time favorite palettes, y'all. This was in my favorite shadow palettes. This is the Chocolate Gold palette from Toofaced, and it's absolutely incredible. The look we're going for, I used this palette last time, and I'm so happy I get to use it again. So I'm just gonna go into this shade here called Rollin' in Dough, and we're going to just set from our brow bone all the way into our crease. I'm not gonna worry about the lid because we're still gonna put concealer there in a little while. All right, guys, the next shade we are going to go into is called So Bougie. I'm using my LT E1, my favorite blending brush at the moment. And I'm kind of gonna look down into the mirror to kind of find my eye socket. And I'm just going to sweep it back and forth. And this brush is kind of gonna do this shape for me. We are gonna bring it down through here. But we're just gonna keep going back and forth in windshield wiper motion to start to build up our transition shade. I switched over to a Smith 235 and I'm going to go into Cocoa Truffle now. Now we're going to start to add real dimension here. I'm going to bring it all the way over and down through here. So we're going to start to really deepen through here and then we're going to take a fluffier brush and blend this out and diffuse any edges. And then we're going into the black eyeshadow. All right, guys, now for the fun part, black eyeshadow. This is one of the reasons I always do my eyes first. So I'm using a Smith 256. It's a very tapered brush. It's gonna really fit into our crease really nice. And I'm using the shade Decadent. And I'm gonna start through here. I'm gonna bring it all the way over. Don't worry about getting it on your lid. We're still gonna clean that up with some concealer. I'm gonna go in and grab a little bit more and then I'm gonna tap it through here. This is such a nice black eyeshadow in this palette. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorites. Okay, so I was just referencing my original picture that I did and it's a little winged out, the shadow is. So I'm just gonna take this over here like this. Still focusing most of the color on the outer part. And then I'm just gonna grab my MAC 224 and just diffuse any of the edges and just blend this back together and kind of wing it out as we go. And then we're gonna clean it up underneath here with a wet wipe in a second. So this is the vibe that we're going for. I put a little, such a difference. Concealer makes a world of difference. So I just grabbed a little bit of my Toofaced Born This Way concealer. Also lost this in the hurricane. Haven't seen it. Don't know where it went. Love this concealer. I love it. So I have a little bit on my back, and I'm on the back of my hand, and then I'm using my Laura Mercier Cream Eye Detail Brush. This is my favorite brush to do this with. It just works so well, as you can see. And am I blocking it, babe? Just let me know. And I'm just gonna start here. And we're gonna start to build up our lid. And you see where my eye is creasing? We're gonna bring our lid much higher than that. That's a really good tip if you have hooded eyes. You're basically just creating a new space, a new lid space. So I'm just going to bring this up and I'm gonna try and match this one. This usually takes me a second because I want them to be very even. And I usually have to get quiet while I do this. Okay, so I'm just finishing up the eye. And I'm only gonna take it to about right here. I'm just gonna make sure that this is all smooth, and I'm gonna take my finger, I'm going to tap it. And then I'm gonna grab my Smith, which one is this one? 256 again, and just tap this a little bit to just blend it and melt these two together. Going back into Cocoa Truffle, I'm going to use my Smith 256 and I'm just going to pat this through here, make sure I'm not blocking the camera.
Oh, you make sure.
I'm trying, honey. I don't want to suffer the wrath.
Yes.
That's the wrath. There it is. So now I'm just going to blend this in. And now we're about to pop over into our lid color. All right, guys, this is probably one of my favorite lid colors of all time. It's called Gold Dipped. Now we're going to apply this onto our lid. I'm using the same brush. I like this one because it doesn't pick up as much product, so it doesn't like overwhelm you, and you can just gradually build because I like to work in small sections when I do this. And we're just gonna put this on top of the concealer. And bring it over to about right here and mix it into the brown. That way it's all gonna be very gradient. This is what we should be working with now. This is turning out better than the first one I did. So now I'm just taking my LCE4 and I'm just going to lightly push this gold eyeshadow over into the brown. I'm not gonna bring it all the way over to the black. We do want it to be very gradient and kind of just melt over this way. Okay, so in the original picture, I was wearing this glitter. It's from Lunatics. It's called Moon Dust Chunky Glitter in Bubbly. So you guys know to be extra careful when you're using glitter. I actually don't even recommend it. I do this because I'm very experienced and I've been doing this a long time with glitter. I'm actually gonna be using lash glue, but that being said, as artists, I know some of us are gonna do this, and if you don't feel comfortable doing this, I do not recommend it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my House of Lashes lash glue. And what I like to do, this actually keeps it very safe because this is such an intense glue. So I'm gonna tap this. Are we in here, Ben? Are we in it? Let me grab my brush and get ready to do this. Perfect. We'll just grab this guy right here. So I'm gonna grab my lash glue and I'm going to dot this, and we're just gonna put this glitter in the center. And I'm kind of I'm going to do just little dots. We're gonna bring it up into here. Perfect. This is gonna keep it safer. I actually wore this for a very long time and not one piece of glitter moved. Now this is a chunkier glitter. I'm gonna grab this and just kind of tap this around for a second. I'm just using an angled brush. Any angled brush will do. Now I'm gonna go in, and since there's a little bit of glue on our brush, we're going to tap this on. We got stars, we got all kinds of good stuff here. And I feel like the chunkier the glitter, the better. It's gonna be safer for you, as long as you apply enough glue. So I've actually used this glitter several times, and I do want to tell you how to remove it. I'll take tweezers and I'll pick off the little pieces very carefully. I take a very dull pair of tweezers, and if you just pick it off, you're good to go. It's super easy. It's one of the reasons I like dealing with chunkier glitter. I feel like most people would think the chunkier the glitter, the more dangerous it is, but it's actually much, much safer. I also think this would be a super cute Coachella look. Remind me to put that in the tags. Hashtag Coachella. I'm only doing a little line across here just to deepen my lash line. I'm using the Toofaced Sketch Marker Liner. Yet another thing that has been misplaced in my life. I'm really having fun doing this dedicated one though. Toofaced doesn't have loose glitters like this, or we would have used those. But I do like their glitter glue, but not for large ones like this. So for like really fine milled glitter, their glitter glue is amazing. All right guys, I'm gonna throw on some Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Just a light coat, because you know we're gonna wear some lashes. I mean, this looks screaming for lashes. But I do like this mascara. Remember that I have coffee eye pencil on my top and bottom waterline. This is from MAC. And again, that's coffee eyeliner. One of my favorite, I think it is my favorite pencil liner for the waterline. I mean, why did it have to be named coffee? That's what I need to know. Like, all right, we're gonna clean out underneath our eyes. I'm actually gonna put a little extra primer under there too, just to make sure that it's still hydrated and we didn't wipe any of that away. Just like that, that's all we're gonna do. Oh yeah, so clean. Get rid of any fallout. But I do want to show you that that palette does not have a lot of fallout. We just worked with the black eyeshadow and look at that. Such a good palette. All right guys, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit more of the primer underneath my eyes because I think we wiped a little bit of it away. And we need our under eyes to be really, really hydrated. And this primer is definitely hydrating. So this wasn't hard for me. This is one of the reasons I picked this to do the full Toofaced tutorial, because this is my ride or die foundation at the moment. I did mix in 2 drops of my Murad and it's already on my face. I'm in the shade Natural Beige. Oh, I love it so much. And I'm gonna grab my LT blender and I'm gonna start to work this into my skin. I like to work in really small sections. As you can see, it matches my neck flawlessly. Ben said, that's a good match. And then I like to pick up my Smith 115 brush and I'll just kind of place it where I'm wanting to blend it. And then I'll blend it through here. I find that when you work in really small sections with your foundation, you're gonna get a more even look. It's gonna be more blended, it's gonna look more like skin, and you're gonna end up using less. Okay guys, I'm using my Born This Way concealer in the shade Light Medium. I already have this side done. I love this concealer because it's so lightweight, but I feel like it has really good pigment to it. So it's not heavy, but the pigment's there. I know you guys have heard me talk about that several times. Pigments are what I look for. I don't really want like a heavy product. Like Shape Tape doesn't have as much pigment, but it's just really heavy. And I really like concealers like this. All right, so that's good. It looks like a lot, but it's about to blend out and be beautiful. All right guys, we're blending out our concealer. I always have a little bit of the Murad oil on my blender when I do this. It just helps keep everything really hydrated, helps with creasing. I really feel like this is a good concealer though if you do crease, as long as you set it. It's just a really hydrating concealer. Ben was all excited that this matched our background. So this is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. I don't use this one as much and I'm not really sure why. But since we're doing all Too Faced, I grabbed it. I need to get my life together and pop this out. But the last time I tried to pop something out, y'all, I did this to myself. So I'm in a popping out timeout, but I do want to take this off. This should not hurt me. I feel like a lot of you always ask how I get these off, and let me pop that up just so I can see what I'm doing. Ben, are you getting this footage? Oh my God. So this is like a scooper makeup thing. Oh yeah, this is the part where, like in the vlog, we flash forward and I'm in an ambulance. This is what's gonna happen. So normally what I'll do, and I don't want you guys to do it because this is totally sketchy, is you go, Ben or significant other. That Ben guy shimmied it off for me. Be careful. I mean, I feel like a butter knife works much better, but I want you guys to be super careful, but you're always asking me, so that's what happens. You just have to shimmy that off extremely carefully. I mean, I don't even really recommend it, but for me, it works. Thank you, Ben. So I'm gonna dip my LT blender in here, just like I did on this side, and I'm going to lightly set underneath our eye and through here, and then I'm just gonna roll whatever's left onto my face like this. Roll it in, and you're working it in when you do that. Okay guys, so I'm just taking my Laura Mercier brush. What is this? And what the, why, Lord, why? What have I done? This is, yeah, that's mascara. I just put on some mascara underneath here. That's what I get for not telling you guys that I put mascara underneath my eyes. I'm why we can't have nice things. So while that dries, I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier cheek color brush and just dust this away and think about what I've done here. Another one of my faves from Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I remember I used to use this all the time. And then, like I said, mine was misplaced. So you're gonna see me use this a lot. Oh, it's so pretty, especially when I'm this shade. I'm not even gonna contour, I'm just gonna use this. And we're gonna bring it down our neck. And I'm gonna take just a little bit of a angled brush like this, go into it, dust it off, and then I'm going to not really contour, just kind of tie in our nose with a little bit of the bronzer. We're gonna use this as our primer. This is the Hangover Prescription, right, Ben? Is that what RX is for? He cracks me up because I'm like, yeah, but I'm just so used to reading an RX in my head. He's like, that's prescription. I'm like, duh, but we're not thinking of that. He's so literal. Ugh. Replenishing primer and setting spray. Now I've already sprayed a little bit because I always do these for YouTube, but I want you guys, I mean for Instagram, but you guys know I love to hydrate through here because we're gonna add our highlight. It's gonna be extra hydrated and that's gonna help with texture and just make sure our highlight is extremely smooth. So we're gonna hit it kind of hard through here. And then I have another use for this stuff too. Found this little gem, no pun intended, it kind of looks like one. But this is the Too Faced Love Light Prismatic Highlighter in Ray of Light. Also my new favorite highlighter brush. This is a MAC 240S. I don't know why I can't talk. I think I'm too excited that there's glitter all over my eyeballs. Anyway, so we're just gonna highlight it up. I love this highlighter because it's very buildable. And I feel like for me right now, the more intense highlighters aren't calling my name at the moment. So I like how this one actually looks like it's lit from within and it's not just like a highlight stripe. And then I'm still going to take my blender and blend this in. And we're actually gonna skip blush today. I don't think we're gonna do blush. I'm liking the vibes with that. I'm also gonna smile and just put some here. I always go back over with my blender and I'll just go over the edges, never the center, just the edges, and melt that back into the skin. All right guys, I'm using Too Faced Melted Matte in Child Star. This is one of my all-time favorite nude lipsticks in the history of matte nude lipsticks. It is so perfect. I feel like Too Faced has one of the best matte formulas out there too. I don't know why I don't wear them more, because they're seriously amazing. All right guys, this is the finished look. This was actually a lot easier the second time. You're not overthinking it. You're just like, yes, this was so much easier, and you like learn from your prior mistakes. Anyways, where has this Too Faced Born This Way concealer been? And where has this highlight been? And where has this bronzer been? Hurricane Harvey did me dirty for hiding all of my good Too Faced favorites. So I'm so glad I did this video, not only because you guys have been asking for it, but because I am back to using some of my old faves, so this was really fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to our vlog channel, which I will link somewhere here. So make sure you subscribe to that, and make sure you subscribe here. Make sure you thumbs up, and just know that I love you guys so much, and Ben and I both appreciate your support so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.